Imagine someone handed you the keys to a casino. Not a small gambling hall hidden on the side of a highway. A real casino. Thousands of slot machines lighting up the floor, hundreds of blackjack and poker tables, luxury hotel rooms, world-class restaurants, concert arenas, shopping malls. People walking through your doors 24 hours a day. Some arrive with a few $100s, others arrive with millions. Every hour, someone wins. Someone loses, and at the end of the night, the casino is still standing, still open, still making money. At first, it sounds like the greatest business ever invented. People voluntarily walk into your building, hand you your money, and hope to leave with more than they came with. If they lose, they come back tomorrow. If they win, many of them come back even sooner. It almost feels like a business that can't fail. But here's a strange part. If casinos are really machines that print money, why do some of the biggest casino companies in history go bankrupt? Why have billionaires lost fortunes trying to build them? Why have governments refused to approve new casinos even when investors were willing to spend billions of dollars? And perhaps the biggest question of all, if casinos always have the mathematical advantage, why isn't every casino owner one of the richest people on earth? The answer is much more complicated than most people realize, because casinos don't make money the way people think they do. Most people believe casinos survive because gamblers lose. That's true, but it's only a tiny part of the story. In reality, the world's largest casinos aren't just gambling businesses. They're entertainment companies, hotel companies, restaurant companies, real estate companies, marketing companies, data companies, and perhaps most surprisingly, psychology companies. Every light you see, every sound you hear, every hallway, every chair, every carpet, every clock that's missing from the wall, every window that doesn't exist. None of it is accidental. Everything inside a casino has one purpose, keeping you inside just a little longer. Because in the casino business, time is money. Literally. The longer a guest stays, the greater the chance they'll place one more bet, and one more, and one more. Casinos understand something most businesses don't. People rarely make their biggest financial decisions logically. They make them emotionally. Imagine sitting at a blackjack table. You've already lost $500. Logic tells you to walk away, but your brain whispers something different. You've come this far. The next hand could change everything. If you leave now, the loss becomes real. That feeling has a name. Psychologists call it the sunk cost effect. It's one of the most powerful forces inside every casino, and it's only one of dozens of psychological principles these businesses understand remarkably well. But before we explore the psychology, we need to answer a much simpler question. Who actually owns casinos? Most people picture a billionaire buying a piece of land, building a few poker tables, installing slot machines, and opening the doors. Reality couldn't be more different. Building a modern casino is one of the most expensive real estate projects in the world. Take the Las Vegas Strip. The Bellagio reportedly cost around $1.6 billion to build in the late 1990s. Adjusted for today's construction costs, building something similar would cost several billion dollars. Resorts like Wynn Las Vegas, Marina Bay Sands in Singapore, and Resorts World have required investments measured in the billions before welcoming their first guest. And construction is only the beginning. Before a casino deals its first card, it must obtain one of the most difficult licenses in business, a casino license. Unlike opening a restaurant or a retail store, you can't simply fill out paperwork and unlock the doors. Governments treat casino licenses as incredibly valuable assets. Some jurisdictions issue only a handful. Others refuse to issue new licenses altogether. Why? Because gambling creates jobs, it attracts tourism, it generates tax revenue, but it also creates social costs, problem gambling, financial crime, money laundering, addiction. Regulators have to balance economic benefits against public concerns. That means every applicant faces intense scrutiny. Where did the investment money come from? Who are the owners? Do they have criminal connections? Can they prove financial stability? Will the project benefit the local economy? In many places, winning approval can take years, and even after approval, the spending has only just begun. A modern integrated casino resort isn't just a gaming floor, it's an entire destination. Luxury hotels, convention centers, shopping districts, fine dining, nightclubs, theaters, swimming pools, spas, parking garages, private villas, employee housing, power systems, water treatment facilities, security centers. Some of these properties operate like small cities. Thousands of employees, millions of visitors every year, constant maintenance, constant upgrades, constant expansion. The investment is enormous. So why would anyone spend billions building a casino? Because if everything goes right, the rewards can be extraordinary. Las Vegas alone welcomes tens of millions of visitors every year. Singapore approved only 2 integrated resorts. From the outside, it looks like casinos became incredibly successful because gambling is profitable. But that's only part of the picture. Here's something most visitors never realize. Walk through almost any major casino and pay attention to where people spend their time. Yes, some are sitting at slot machines, others are playing blackjack, but many are shopping, eating, watching concerts, attending business conferences, staying in hotel rooms, relaxing at luxury spas. The casino floor may be the heart of the property, but it isn't always the biggest business inside it. And that surprises a lot of people, because while everyone focuses on the jackpots, casino executives are often focused on something completely different: getting guests to stay one more night, order one more meal, book one more show, spend one more dollar. The longer a guest remains inside the resort, the greater the opportunity the business has to earn revenue. That's why modern casinos don't just compete with other casinos. They compete with vacation destinations, cruise ships, luxury hotels, theme parks, entertainment districts. They're selling an experience, not just a game. But if casinos are spending billions to build resorts, hiring thousands of employees, and creating experiences that look more like luxury cities than gambling halls, then where does the real money actually come from? Is it the slot machines everyone walks past? The poker tables filled with professionals? The luxury hotel upstairs? Or is the biggest source of profit hiding somewhere almost nobody notices? That's where the business becomes far more fascinating than most people imagine. Because despite everything you've seen so far, the hotel isn't the biggest reason casinos exist. The concerts aren't either. Neither are the luxury restaurants or shopping malls. Those businesses certainly make money, sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars every year, but they're designed to support something much bigger: the gaming floor. Walk through almost any major casino and you'll notice something interesting. The slot machines occupy the largest area. Not the poker room, not blackjack, not roulette, slots. At first, that seems strange. Poker is on television, blackjack looks more sophisticated, roulette feels glamorous. So why dedicate thousands of square feet to machines that many serious gamblers ignore? Because slot machines are, by far, the most profitable game in almost any casino. In Las Vegas, they often generate well over half of total gaming revenue. And unlike table games, they require very little labor. A blackjack table needs a dealer, a pit boss, security, surveillance, training. A slot machine needs electricity, maintenance, and an occasional technician. It can operate 24 hours a day without ever asking for a break. But here's something many people misunderstand. Casinos don't make money because every player loses every time. If that were true, nobody would ever come back. Instead, casinos rely on something much more powerful: probability. Every game inside a casino is designed with what the industry calls a house edge. Imagine flipping a perfectly fair coin. Over thousands of flips, you'd expect about half to be heads and half to be tails. Now imagine someone changes the odds ever so slightly. Instead of winning 50% of the time, you win 49.5%. That tiny difference seems insignificant until you repeat the game millions of times. Casinos don't need to beat every player. They only need a small mathematical advantage over millions of bets. Eventually, the numbers work in their favor. It's less like gambling and more like owning an insurance company. Insurance companies know they'll pay claims, sometimes enormous claims, but they also know that across millions of customers, the math is on their side. Casinos think exactly the same way. Some guests will win life-changing jackpots. Others will walk away with impressive profits. Those stories make headlines. They create excitement. They encourage new visitors to believe they could be next. Meanwhile, the casino focuses on millions of ordinary bets that quietly produce consistent revenue. And this is where psychology becomes just as important as mathematics. Casinos understand that people don't remember gambling the way computers do. A computer remembers every spin, every dollar won, every dollar lost. Humans don't. We remember emotions, the excitement of almost winning, the thrill of hearing coins, or today, digital credits, celebrating a payout. The moment everyone around us looks over because our machine lights up. Behavioral psychologists call this variable reward. It's the same principle behind social media notifications, mobile games, and many smartphone apps. You never know exactly when the reward is coming, and that uncertainty keeps people engaged. Casinos perfected this long before smartphones existed. Even the sounds inside a casino are carefully designed. Notice that slot machines celebrate almost every outcome. When a little, music plays, lights flash. The machine congratulates you. Sometimes it celebrates even when you've technically lost money on the spin. Your brain responds to the excitement long before it calculates the result. It's subtle, but incredibly effective. Then there are loyalty programs. Most visitors think they're receiving free perks, a complimentary buffet, a discounted hotel room, free drinks, tickets to a concert. What they don't always realize is that casinos track nearly everything: how long you play, which games you prefer, how much you typically spend, how often you visit. That information allows casinos to tailor offers specifically for you. If giving away a $100 hotel room encourages a guest to spend $1,000 over the weekend, it's a remarkably good investment. In fact, some of the highest value customers almost never pay full price for anything: luxury suites, private transportation, exclusive restaurants, personal hosts, high-limit gaming rooms, all provided because the casino knows those guests are likely to generate far more revenue than the cost of the benefits they receive. The industry has a name for these customers: high rollers, sometimes called VIPs. They represent a surprisingly small percentage of visitors, but they can account for a significant portion of gaming revenue. Casinos compete fiercely to attract them. Private jets, luxury villas, personalized service. For the right customer, almost nothing is too extravagant, because one successful weekend with a high roller can generate more revenue than hundreds of casual tourists combined. But depending too heavily on wealthy gamblers creates another problem: volatility. A single guest can win millions of dollars in one night, and sometimes they do. That's why casinos don't rely exclusively on high rollers. Their real strength comes from scale. Thousands of guests, millions of individual wagers, a mathematical advantage applied over an enormous volume of activity. The bigger the sample, the more predictable the outcome becomes. Of course, running a casino isn't just about making money, it's also about protecting it. Every major casino operates one of the most sophisticated surveillance systems in the world. Thousands of cameras, facial recognition technology in some jurisdictions, dedicated security teams, analysts watching gaming floors around the clock. Casinos aren't only looking for cheating, they're protecting guests, employees, cash, and ensuring games remain fair. Trust is essential. If players believe games are manipulated unfairly, the business collapses. That's why reputable casinos spend enormous amounts complying with regulations, anti-money laundering rules, financial reporting requirements, gaming audits, independent testing of equipment, licensing reviews. The public sees flashing lights and entertainment. Behind the scenes is one of the most heavily regulated industries in the world. And despite all those precautions, casinos still face risks they can't completely control. Economic recessions reduce tourism. Travel restrictions empty hotel rooms. Competition from online gambling changes customer behavior. New regulations increase costs. History has shown that even famous casino companies aren't immune to financial pressure. Owning a casino doesn't guarantee success. Poor management, too much debt, or building in the wrong market can quickly turn a glamorous project into an expensive mistake. So, is owning a casino actually a great business? The answer is yes, but not for the reason most people think. Casinos aren't successful simply because people lose money. They're successful because they've built an ecosystem where every part of the business supports every other part. The hotel fills the casino. The casino fills the restaurants. The restaurants keep guests on the property. Entertainment attracts new visitors. Loyalty programs encourage them to return. Data helps personalize every experience. And behind it all, mathematics quietly ensures that over time, the odds remain in the house's favor. The jackpot is what customers remember. The probability is what casino owners remember. That's the real business. So, the next time you walk through a casino, look beyond the flashing lights, beyond the roulette wheel, beyond the cheering crowd around a jackpot winner. What you're really looking at isn't a gambling hall. It's one of the most carefully engineered business models in the world. A place where architecture, psychology, hospitality, technology, and mathematics all work together towards one goal: keeping the experience entertaining enough that millions of people willingly return year after year. If you enjoyed uncovering the hidden economics behind casinos, there are plenty of other industries hiding fascinating business models in plain sight. Subscribe for more deep dives into the businesses that quietly shape the global economy.